Hey everybody, this is something new to the Vanilla Thunder Productions channel. I just had the opportunity to attend the Casino del Sol College All-Star Game held in Tucson at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. Thought I'd give everybody kind of a feedback, kind of discuss a little bit about my experience there. This was my first college football game of any kind outside of the one Arizona Wildcats game I've attended. It was a really fun experience. College all-star games aren't always the most exciting things to watch on TV, but I gotta say, in person, it was a lot of fun seeing these guys play. They definitely tried hard. There were a lot of guys out there from some smaller schools that were a lot of fun to watch. A couple of players in mind. Mankato, Minnesota State Mankato had a player out there, and if I can grab his name real quick. Um, Lamarck Brown II. He was actually very fun to watch. The big name at this event was Jarrett Lee out of LSU. He was a lot of fun to watch. That guy is sharp. Really impressed with his work. I will say the players looked pretty rusty early in the game, but that fourth quarter was great. It's a shame a lot of people actually left the game before it was over because that wound up being a fantastic finish and ended when Fresno State's kicker booted it off the return team, their front line of the return blockers, I guess you would say, and fell on the ball. So and the Stripes team fell on the ball. So that effectively ended the game with less than a minute to go. It's a great way to end a great game. The Stripes team trailed most of the game. Stripes team being majority players from the West Coast or Western U.S., if you will. The U of A players were on that side. The Arizona players were on that side of the ball. That side of the teams, if you will. And that was yeah, it was a great ending to the game. That the Stripes team was trailing most of the game. They came back and scored, and then Stars went back up. But the Stripes team scored with under a minute to go. It was a really entertaining game. The Stars team was very stout on defense for most of the game, except they got busted on a couple of penalties, jumping off sides. That really killed their defensive run. There was even a defensive touchdown taken off the board for jumping off sides. But yeah, Robert Golden had a good showing in the game out of the University of Arizona. Derek Earls was there. Geno Crump had the most fans probably of any of the U of A players. So he had a huge contingency standing right next to where I was actually, and they were chanting pretty loudly for him. He had a couple of good plays in the game. Aaron Pflugrad out of ASU, unfortunately out of ASU, he had a pretty good game as well. He was a lot of fun to watch. Just kind of going through some of the other players that were in the game. C.J. Parrish actually got injured for the U of A in the second quarter, but he returned in the fourth quarter, so that was good to see. There was a player out of Cincinnati, Evan Davis, offensive lineman, who was injured in the game and did appear to still be suffering some of the effects of the injury. It appeared to be his right ankle or foot. He was limping at the end of the game. And then there was a great play, too, by where's out of Sacred Heart. There was a player out of Sacred Heart. Rich Rossi out of Sacred Heart had a great catch from Jarrett Lee for the touchdown that put Stars up ahead late in the game. The final score that they had for the game. So it was cool to see a guy from LSU throwing a touchdown to a guy from Sacred Heart. You won't get that everywhere. The atmosphere was good initially. It was pretty cold for a Tucson game. Lots of fans, though, early. They got just under 8,000 people for the game, which was nice to see. Unfortunately, a lot of them cleared out at halftime, and even more of them were gone by the end of the third quarter, which was kind of a bummer to see. I know some people got to watch this game on TV and probably chose to stay home. Really wish Tucson fans would just stick around for these things and really show their support. It's really hard to get these events to come out if you don't show your support for the entire event. That's something Tucson fans just don't wrap their heads around, unfortunately. But and then Tyler Holmes out of Tulsa, I was impressed with some of his work. Who was the running back? Oh, there was a running back. I'm drawing a blank. Stephon Green, out of Penn State. That's what I was thinking of, not the Tulsa guy. He was all right, too. But the Penn State running back, he had a lot of opportunities to hold the ball. He showed some stuff. That was pretty interesting. My overall impression was that was a very entertaining game, and I hope they're back next year. I would love to see a second annual All-Star game, but I certainly would recommend it to anybody else. That was a good time, and field looked great. The grounds crew did a great job getting that thing ready to go in a short amount of time. And it was a good experience. I would definitely go back.